Like and subscribe to get more content of your favorite subreddit. Am I the asshole for embarrassing my Bill's new wife in front of everyone? For context, it was not my intention, but it was absolutely how it played out. My Bill, husband's brother, was away for college for 4 years and ended up eloping with a woman he had known for 7 months. None of us knew her. Not that it mattered, but we just met her for the first time back a few months ago. She seemed pleasant, a bit shy, which is to be expected, and a bit rough around the edges. No big deal at all, but just like fidgety, darting her head and looking behind her shoulder like someone was standing there when no one was. We found out a short few weeks later that she has bipolar. Unmedicated. So her behaviors absolutely made sense. I'm an RN, as well as a social worker. And I also have bipolar, but I'm medicated. On Saturday, Mill invited the whole family down for dinner and Bill and his new wife, Hannah, show up, and we got to chatting at the dinner table about her diagnosis. She brought it up, not me, but she knew I knew about it, so it started as small talk, I believe. Well, it didn't take long for her to dive deep into this conversation, using her arms and hands to talk, getting a bit loud. No problems. The family is loud, so she fits right in. But then she became angry. Over nothing. Started saying stuff like, "It absolutely fucking repulses me that people without bipolar try claiming they are manic when mania is strictly a bipolar thing." I wasn't rude by any means, but I did correct her, quietly, and said, "Actually, mania comes in all forms and is not limited to bipolar disorders. Even people with brain tumors have been known to have manic episodes." She immediately said I was wrong, that her doctor told her that it was strictly a bipolar thing, etc. So I just stood firm and said, "He's wrong," and even pulled up my medical ebook to show her the paragraph that speaks on mania and everything that can cause an episode. She refused to read it, so I just turned to my husband, who wasn't paying attention to us, and said, "Honey, you're a doctor. What causes manic episodes?" He starts listing off multiple things, including manic depressive episodes, seasonal affective disorder, postpartum psychosis, or schizoaffective disorder. Well, Hannah was pissed. She immediately said that we were just trying to one-up her and that she knew what she was talking about. My husband immediately said, "Obviously not if you're going to sit here, argue and gatekeep symptoms of illnesses against two medical professionals." He then turned and walked off, leaving us at the table with both Bills, SIL and MIL, looking on. Hannah then starts crying, saying I embarrassed her on purpose for no good reason other than my pride, and stormed out of the room after screaming for everyone to stop staring at her. Bill is telling me I should have just shut my mouth and storms after her. I'm really confused if I'm the here. ETA. Making an ad to include some key points here. I was quiet throughout this entire conversation. I was speaking so no one else could hear. Which is exactly why my husband, who was sitting directly beside me, has no idea what we were talking about until I brought him into the conversation. She did not appear to be in any sort of episode when the conversation began. Other than the first initial spew of how it repulses her, she calmed down immediately afterwards, and only slowly showed how manic she was after raising her voice at my husband for simply stating what can cause a manic episode that does not include bipolar. I was having what I thought was an academically correct conversation with an individual, as small talk mentioned in my post. She was the one who became loud and belligerent. No one at that table had any clue what me and Hannah were even talking about until Hannah started screaming at me over the table. It is my job as both a social worker and an RN to educate individuals whom are uneducated on their illness. So yes, that probably played a part. It's more dangerous to be uneducated than it is to be educated, and to be blunt, her doctor giving her false information to begin with is troubling in itself. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get more content of your favorite subreddit.